Hi, my name is Matthew. I'm with the Chattanooga Public Library.
Hey, and I'm Brooke. What are we going to talk about today, Matthew?
Today, we're going to talk about jets and flight mechanics, and we'll even be making our own paper planes based on the F-15.
Cool. How come you know so much about airplanes?
I was actually an aviation mechanic in the United States Navy for about 4 years.
That's really cool. What kind of things did you work on?
I worked on F-18s, Super Hornets for about 2.5 to 3 years, and then after that, I worked on the older models called the Hornets.
Well, that's pretty cool.
I started off my career working on hydraulics, so everything on the aircraft that moves, the stabs, the ailerons, the landing gear, all those things we'll talk a little bit more later, I worked on. And later on in my career, I worked on structures and engines.
Oh, that's amazing.
So we're going to talk a little bit about flight mechanics. So today we have here an F-15 jet right here. Now, while the jet is in the air and is operating, there's three main different types of motion that you need to keep in mind when flying an aircraft. So the first one is roll. That one's real easy. It just rolls left and right. And the second one, and you probably see this quite often with stunts and hot dogging, is the pitch. Now this is how the jet will move with pitch. And the one that most people forget is actually yaw, and that's how the plane maneuvers left and right. Now, when an aircraft is flying, the yaw motion is not quite as smooth as this is right here. There is a little bit of a roll motion and a bit of a pitch motion all involved in order to turn left and right. All three are used usually simultaneously to pull a different maneuver or stunt while in an aircraft. On an aircraft, there are different hydraulics in place to help all these motions take place. So for instance, for the pitch, we have stabilizers in the back. These are massive pieces. I'm sure most of you have seen them. This is
Is that the ones that go up and down?
Yes, they go up and down in the back. Now this here doesn't do a great job of demonstrating it, but it would be here in the back right here, and it would just go up and down like this on the side of the aircraft. That controls the pitch. Now to do rolls left and right, you have your ailerons at the back. Now these will go up and down, and you'll see these on the side of the plane. If you've ever flown and been on the window seat by the plane, you will see these going like this, up and down. And this controls the rolling motion and helps roll. Now these, with other pieces and components, also help with the yaw and to turn. So not only can the ailerons assist to go like this, but they can also help with the yaw. Now, the main component that assists with the yaw is actually the rudder in the back. Now, here we don't have one, but if you actually look at an F-15 or an F-18, you will have a large rudder. Now, that component will turn left and right, and I'm sure you've seen rudders on boats, and that will assist with the yaw motion. One of the Hornets, one of the older versions of the F-18s, has been made very popular by the Blue Angels.
Ah, yeah.
Is a very famous a demo team, as we like to call them, and they go around the country. And a little term we use in the Navy is they like to do a lot of hot dogging and a lot of stunts and things like that. Mind you, that they need to always be safe while they're doing that. But yes, Blue Angels are quite famous, and that is an older version of the F-18. It is a lot of fun to watch, and it is a lot of fun to ride in the backseat of the F-18. I myself was one of the last airmen at the time to get a backseat ride in a Super Hornet, and it was quite fun. We came this close to breaking the sound barrier over land, which is illegal, by the way, so we did not break the sound barrier, but we came close.
I won't do it then. Next time I'm when I won't do it.
Well, next, now that we've discussed some of the mechanics and some of the structural components of a jet, we're actually going to make a paper plane. We're going to make an F-15, which is one of the older models. It's a little bit simpler to make than a Super Hornet. Although I encourage you, if you can make a more complex paper airplane, I would love to see it.
Let's do it.
All right, let's get ready.
What are those things on your head, Matthew?
All right, so this is actually a cranial. It's a piece of protective headwear when you're working on the jets. A lot of times when you're working on the jet, when you're troubleshooting, you have to have the jet on, and it's very, very loud. And so this is noise canceling. In addition to this, we also wear earplugs.
So that's what you wear when you're working on the planes.
Yes.
Cool.
This is actually the same piece of headgear that you'll wear if you're launching a jet as well.
Ready to make a paper airplane?
Yes, we are. So here's my model here of the F-15.
Nice.
As you got the nice wings here. We even got the canopy here. It's something I did actually get to remove a few times.
Is that where the pilot sits?
What's that?
Is that where the pilot would sit?
Yes. The canopy is the large glass piece that goes over the pilot.
Okay.
So we're going to take our piece of paper here. I like blue, personally.
Got bright orange.
As you can tell by my table, the outfit, part of the reason I joined Navy, mainly for the colors. So, all right, so the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to take our piece of paper here. Now, I'm actually using construction paper. You can use cardstock. Something a little bit more weight. It'll help give it a little bit more distance when you're trying to fly your airplane.
I'm using regular colored copier paper, so it'll be fun to compare how far ours go.
Yes.
We're using different paper.
All right, so we are going to fold it hot dog style. For most of you familiar with that term.
That makes sense. Especially since you said the airplane's hot dog.
They do like the hot dog. Yes. Now, what we're going to do is take the top corner here and kind of like a standard traditional paper airplane. We're going to bring it all the way down. Make a nice right triangle. Make that crease there, and then we're going to do the same with the other side.
Now this one's a little more complicated than the regular paper airplane we're going to do next, isn't it?
Yes, yes it is. So.
Challenge, guys.
All right, so once you have folded the other side, and like I said, this is kind of like a standard airplane. The basic one you would fold down there at that point afterwards.
Okay, so folding it straight over like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like where the edges meet.
Then we're going to open it back up.
Okay.
Now what we're going to do once we've opened it back up, and we got the flaps facing us.
Okay.
We're going to take this and we're going to fold it all the way down.
All right, so I'm folding it back out. Is that right?
Yes, so you're going to take it, you see how the flaps are open like this?
Okay.
So you're going to take it and fold it towards you.
Okay.
Almost going to look like a envelope.
Okay. All the way to the bottom?
All the way to the bottom.
Okay.
Now what we are going to do is, you see right here this small little distance right here on the side?
Yeah, right here.
Yes. So what we're going to do is we're going to fold it back up, but not all the way up.
Okay.
We'll fold it till we got a nice 45-degree angle right there.
Okay.
Now we're going to turn it over.
Okay.
Yeah, so I kind of like to flip it over and just like double check my folds. All right, so now we're going to fold it back up. We'll use that fold later.
Okay.
So now what we're going to do, and slightly more advanced, we're going to take the, now that it's completely unfolded, aside from these two flaps here, make this up, and we're going to fold this down until we meet in the middle.
Okay.
Now we're not going to fold all the way, but we're just going to fold till that one little crease that we made earlier, okay?
Okay.
I'm going to do that on the other side as well.
Okay.
So we're going to fold this up like so, and I like to hold it in place. Make sure I have a nice sharp crease. And we'll go all the way up until that first little crease that we made earlier, okay?
All right.
Nice and crisp.
What's next?
All right, so next, we'll get back to this position.
Mm-hmm.
What we're gonna do is we're gonna start folding over like that last crease that we made.
Okay.
We're not gonna push all the way down. We kind of want it to be able to go like this, and you'll have to take your finger and kind of go on inside and move this. Now, what we're gonna do is, you see how this overlaps the center?
Yeah.
Yeah, we want to get rid of that. So we're going to kind of pull it back, just this little tab here,
Yeah.
until this bottom surface starts becoming horizontal. Now, if you're really good at this corner piece here, the fold will line up perfectly with that. Now, if your previous folds are a little off, like mine,
Mine too. But still, that's pretty cool.
it will still fly.
Yes, it will. All right.
So, and what I do is make that a nice little crease right there once I get that lined up.
Okay.
And so you should have a nice little obtuse angle right here if you do that correctly.
Okay.
All right.
Mine's close.
Let me see yours.
It's close. I got some bumpiness, but.
All right, all right. And usually the first paper airplane that you're making, you're gonna have a lot of little extra crinkles and creases and wrinkles and things like that in there. The more you work on this, the better it'll get. So now we're gonna do the same thing with the other side. So now, did it correctly, these should line up here. And you have a nice little V here in the center.
I'm close. It's close.
Yes. Okay, so now, once you've pretty much flipped over the tab, we're gonna fold it back in. So now we have a nice right triangle here. And now we're gonna do the same thing with the other side. We'll open it up. Get this little tab here, we're gonna pull it out. Now we're gonna get it to fold like this. We're taking the whole left tab, bringing it out and over.
Over.
And then,
got it.
now here we already have the crease. So now we're just gonna fold this back over. So essentially what we're doing is just bring it all the way over and folding the tab back and bring it out front. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this tab here and we're bringing it up just a tad, probably I'd say about 3/8 to a half an inch up.
Okay.
And like everything with triangles, so go all the way down. Now this angle is gonna look a little weird. We're gonna fold up to about here. Now this, it won't touch this tab up here, your center tab, but you'll probably get close to it, probably about 1/4 to 1/8 of an inch away. And it's kind of an odd angle here. And you're gonna do the same thing on the other side. Now again, you wanna make sure this comes all the way down to this corner here. Fold it up, bring it in. It's gonna get close to the tab up top, but not quite touch it. If you mess up a little bit, this is one of those folds that you can adjust to what you need.
Good.
All right, so for our next step, what we're gonna do, this fold that we just made here, we're going to take it and we're going to pretty much tuck it under. So we're pretty much just making a crease to make this easier for us so we can see it. So now we're going to take this and we're going to fold it under. Make sure to watch this little triangle under here so it doesn't fold on itself. You see how this is kind of pretty much just made this disappear. It's tucked under now.
Got it.
All right, so now we're gonna do the other side the same way. So the last fold that we made, we're just going to unfold it, and we got that little crease there.
Mhm.
We're just going the opposite direction and tuck underneath. Be careful that little corner there can fold on itself. So. If you get a little mistake, it's all right. If you can see mine, I got a little mistake right there. It's quite all right. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to turn it sideways, like so.
Okay.
Now we're going to take this corner here, this top flap, and we're going to start bringing it in. Now we're going to bring the center of this corner right here, so it's the tab and the jet. If you do it just right, you should have a nice little triangle here. Mine's a little off. And it should be mostly horizontal. We're going to make our crease right there. And we're going to do the exact same thing on the other side. I'm going to rotate mine so it's a little bit easier to maneuver. I'm going to take my top corner tab here. And I'm going to bring it in towards the center. Trying my best to line up with that one. Not quite how I want. Now you have to be careful. This one here, this tab here is starting to slide on me, so I have to hold it in place while I fold. It's not perfectly lined up with that I want. It's quite right. That's how it should look. Now for the part you probably are a little bit more familiar with. Now we're actually going to fold it in half.
This way.
Yes.
Okay.
You got a lot of extra folds in there, so make sure it's nice and sharp.
Yeah, that's where it comes in useful if you press those creases down, isn't it?
Oh yeah. Now we're gonna need some scissors here a little bit, so make sure to have your scissors ready. So what we're going to do is we're actually about to cut, as you can see on my jet here, little tabs right here, and cut in for those.
Okay.
So about halfway in, about almost the same angle here as this right here, we're gonna cut an angle. Okay? We're gonna cut both sides of the wings, that way they're nice and even. So we're gonna go about halfway. And so we're gonna cut in about an inch. See here, we're cutting in about an inch.
Okay.
About the same angle as this. And what we're gonna do is essentially make a right triangle. So then we're gonna cut this here.
Okay.
And we're essentially cutting out a triangle.
Oh, okay. I see what you mean.
So let me just pull that out. Now, if your triangles are a little bit better than mine, you won't do this. So now we have that. And the part you probably remember is usually folding down like this on a more traditional one, but we're actually going to fold this piece up here. So what you're going to do is fold this in half up here towards the top. We're going to bring this down like so. It's going to be a little bit more challenging to make that fold than a traditional fold.
It's so thick for one thing.
Yes, it is. Fold it all the way over. Now that you have that all the way across, then we're going to flip it over.
Okay.
Yeah, well, we're folding this in half here.
Okay.
And so you can see I'm taking this and folding it down.
Okay.
Match it with this right here, the bottom. And when you do this, you'll have a centerpiece that still remains, and that's what we want. That will actually serve as the canopy.
Oh, I think mine is drone because I don't have a canopy for some reason, but that's okay.
There are some drones out there, and that's quite
Yep.
all right.
No pilot, but that's all right. It still looks like an airplane.
Now that I fold that, and we open it up a little bit, and you can kind of see that by looking here that that we have a canopy. We're getting almost done. All right, so now we're down to our last two steps. So now we're going to take this and we're going to fold it in. So we're going to bring this up just a little, not all the way.
Okay.
We're going to make a nice little fold right there. You can make this however large or small that you like.
Okay.
We're just folding this in. We're going to do the same thing on the other side.
Okay.
We'll bring this little tab up. We're going to fold it. We got a nice crease. And we're kind of bend this back because we want them to stick up.
Okay.
All right. Now the last step. Now our canopy looks a little insecure here. If there's any AMEs watching this, they're pretty upset. But what we'll do is we're going to take this top flap right here, not the whole thing, but just this top flap right here on the canopy. Your drone, unfortunately, does not have one.
That's okay.
But we'll take it and fold it over the entire canopy and tuck it in like so. Make sure our crease is good. Now, you have the right side is folded over the left side, securing it, making one unified piece canopy here. And it's a lot more structurally sound. There you go. That is the paper airplane version of the F-15.
And I just want to say that it doesn't have to be perfect, guys. I'm glad that you worked on airplanes and not me. If this is any indication. I'm doing this one right here. It's just the classic dart. What color you want to use?
I'm going to stick with the traditional blue.
Oh, with blue again. Okay.
Best color. Unless you ask mine.
This one starts just like the other one. Folding it over.
Hot dog style?
Yes, hot dog style. And then you make those triangles at the top. On both sides.
Everything seems to be triangles.
Yeah, it does.
I'm going to throw just one little extra piece in mine.
You're gonna make it a little snazzier.
Just a little. So, we got our traditional setup like so.
Mm-hmm.
Then instead of making your traditional fold there,
Mm-hmm.
this might not work, but we'll see.
Oh, that's what I was gonna try too. The little fold.
So I'm going to try this little fold here, like we did on the F-15.
Yep.
It gives it a little style. And I'm going to take this and fold it down probably
Mm-hmm.
halfway or so.
And that is it. See, now that's my level of airplane right there.
Oh, yeah.
Anybody can do that.
Here we go. We will test these in just a moment and see which one flies farther. The drone, the simplistic one, the F-18.
This one. Or the one with your canopy.
One with the canopy, yes.
And then the simple one. I'll try the simple one too.
Be sure to tag us on social media. And that's Chattanooga your app. This is what a shot.